Back to the channel. Welcome to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Saturday Championship, which has now been running for a few rounds actually. We're up to round 8. Should have been round 9. A little bit of confusion after PD decided to throw a bit of a paddy a few weeks ago and shut everybody down, so they missed a round. That is going to happen at the end of the season, so don't worry, we're not going to leave a round off, but so this has now moved to round 8 instead of round 9, and as you can see, we're at Green Hell, or otherwise known as the Nurbergring 24 hours circuit, for a 50-minute endurance race. Now I'm joined in the studio today by one of the drivers, and that is Rufus. So you need to change that name, mate, because that's too much for me to worry. John. John, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
I can't even get your name right. So John, we'll keep it simple.
Just say Rufus, or just say Rufus.
Rufus, one of the I can't get it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get it sorted by the end of the race. So as I say, this is 50 minutes. John was taking part in this race, so he'll be able to give us a little bit of a driver's eye view and a driver's insight into what it's like around here. Although anybody that actually plays GT7, I'm sure, has been on this tarmac and thoroughly hates it like everybody else does. So we'll have a quick look down the grid, shall we? We've got 11 guys on the grid, so we'll have a quick look down the grid and then we'll get going. So this is on league positions, I believe, is it, John?
Yes, it's on championships where they are in the league, because there was no qualifying.
Okay, so no qualifying there, where they are in the league. So we've got Stormfly, and we will bring you league positions next week, by the way. So we've got Stormfly on pole position then. We've got Fitzy just behind him in second. Osman is third. Fourth on the grid is Unforgiven. Grasshopper is fifth. Rufus himself on sixth. 7th is Phaser, 8th is Pete, 9th is Silly Shot, 10th is Sid the Sloth, and Wayne G down in 11th. So back up to the top, we'll get the camera changed and we'll get this race underway, shall we, John? It's a rolling start as normal.
Yep.
So we'll just wait for them to get near that start finish line. You can see the lights there, and the lights did absolutely nothing, which is great.
Yeah.
I always thought they changed, but no, they don't. Off we go then. So Stormfly takes us into the first corner. Now, I've got the GP circuit map in front of me, but it is absolutely pointless because once they get onto the Green Hell section...
it's supposed to be a crash.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Somebody gone already? It is. It's Rufus. What are you doing? Let's just have a quick look.
I was kind of
chatting away because I thought everything was nice and calm at the start.
Yeah, I kind of got a bad start, and then, well,
it's all very touchy-feely. Oh, you just came round in front of Sid, and it all got very, very touchy-feely and awkward. That's not the start you wanted.
Not particularly, no. Not
particularly. But, okay, well, you're back up and running again, so that's the main thing. And it is a big old race as well, so plenty of time to catch up. We'll go back up to the sharp end, and Stormfly, well, he's already looking at opening up a bit of a lead, is he? Fitzy's going to not let him get too far away. The last thing you want to do is let the guy in front of you open up a lead before they get onto the, go out into the forest area.
Yeah, that is my favourite part of this track, the forest part. I don't like Nurbergring because you still got to the forest bit. I love that bit.
Well, you're about one of the only ones. No, I say the only one. There's lots of people love it. It's and a lot of people hate it as well. It's one of them Marmite tracks, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is with it, what is it, 170 corners?
Yeah.
Not that you notice when you're driving. As we see Unforgiven trying to put the pressure onto Osman. Grasshopper in the NSX in 5th. Then we've got Phaser in... wow, look at that for a livery. Is there any more stickers he can get on that car? That's got to weigh him down.
He's just a bit.
Then we've got Wayne G. He's already made his way up into 7th. And Pete is in 8th. Silly Shot 9th. yourself in 10th, and Sid. Oh, Sid's had a bit of a moment. That's unlucky for Sid, just as he's entered into the what do we call this bit? The forest area, the greenery.
I have no idea.
I don't know what the technical name is, but Stormfly then, has he got a bit of a gap? Let's jump on board with Fitzy. Yeah, he has. So Stormfly's already opened up a little bit of a gap back to Fitzy.
He certainly has.
Not that much of a gap back to Osman. But yeah, Fitzy really didn't want to let Stormfly get away from him this early, did he? Very technical part of the track. Well, it's all technical, isn't it? This is.
It's very difficult once you fall off. Once people start to get ahead, it's very difficult to keep up.
Yeah, if you get out of the slipstream, as you say, it is difficult to get back in and catch back up. But so far, so good for the top. Well, I say the top four. Stormfly's having a bit of a run on his own, but Fitzy, Osman, and Unforgiven doing a good job actually to stay in touch with the two guys in front of him. So it's the three League of Champions guys all in a bit of a row there. And well, I'm sure Stormfly will be in the League of Champions before too long. What a fantastic shot that is! Look at that. The guy holding that camera must be absolutely sprinting along there.
Yep, certainly.
Grasshopper in the NSX. How's he been performing in the NSX? I wouldn't have thought it was the car of choice for a GR3.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought. To be honest, I don't think the NSX is actually that bad a car, but it's not as quick as the others. And it's shown this season he hasn't been able to, like, with Grasshopper, he's usually quite quick, but the car isn't as good as the cars as the others are in.
No, I think the GTR seems quite popular. And Wayne G, what's that? Is that the Audi, isn't it? So
yeah.
I mean, we know how quick Wayne G is, and
yeah.
I've not really driven the Audi. It's a bit of a handful by all accounts, but Wayne G seems to be doing right on cue. I'm saying Wayne G's doing a great job, and he decides to have a kiss with Barry R. So that's unlucky for Wayne. He was right on the back of Grasshopper as well. So a bit catching up for him to do. Phaser sitting in 7th. He's having a proper good ding dong with Silly Shot, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm surprised Silly Shot is able to stay that close to Phaser with all that livery going on in front of him. It must be quite dazzling. And
yeah,
off-putting, chasing Bugs Bunny through green hell. Silly Shot in 8th, Pete in 9th in the Porsche, and then yourself in 10th. What was going through your mind then at this point? You've just had a crash on the GP circuit, entering onto your favourite section, and you find yourself in the back.
I was like, usually I get down, but I was just like, right, push, and yeah.
Is it just a case of let's get in some qualifying laps and try and nick the fastest lap, something like that?
Yeah, try to. I think, to be honest, but I've in my pace and where I drive has improved in the last couple of months, but that's, I'd say, you probably really noticed how much I've improved.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you where this speed has come from, because we have noticed it, and I don't know whether it's something you're eating, or have you taken lessons from somebody, or have you secretly fitted nitrous to the car? What is it?
So, I had a little help from Osman.
Yeah.
And because obviously I had a few wrong settings on my wheel, so I changed them, and so I did that, and I have the braking. You can have the red braking area on the ground to where to brake.
Yeah.
I have that as well on now, so I know so it helps me with my braking. So because before I wasn't braking in the right area, I was braking too late and losing so much time. So it's just with them few bits, my pace has just improved like buckets loads.
Yeah,
before I would say I have no chance against obviously these guys, but now I can actually I can try and keep up with them. I can't beat them, but I can try and I can theoretically keep up with them to an extent.
Well, you've been doing a fantastic job. Always Unforgiven, I think, has got by Osman. That was a bit of a mistake there. I'm just going to go back. Sorry to interrupt, John, but I just want to go back because we were just watching Osman and Unforgiven having a fantastic battle down here, fighting for P2. And I'm just going to jump on board with Unforgiven as we go into the second of the carousels. Oh, and Osman just goes very wide onto the grass.
Yeah.
Lost a couple of places there, so the pressure that Unforgiven was putting on paid off there at the wrong place as well, because they're now entering onto that extremely long straight. So poor old Osman has got some catching up to do. So sorry for interrupting, John, but so
it's okay.
You find that the red braking marker is a big help, is it?
Yeah, for me, I find because of the way I think of things, it definitely is a big help because it's helped improve my time dramatically.
Well, anything that helps, I might even try that myself. Really, it's
yeah, it's definitely worth using. People say shouldn't use it, but it's helped me so much. So I think whoever wants it, it does help.
I thought it might be a bit off-putting, but no, if it helps. Oh, as Grasshopper goes across the grass, Grasshopper going across the grass. You do not want to be doing that. But good recovery from Grasshopper. He's managed to stay on track. He's still in 5th, but Wayne G now. Wayne G up to 6th. And he's pushing hard, isn't it? Great livery on that car as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wayne G has done that himself. If he has, and then round of applause to him. I do love that. I do like black, green and white. I do think it looks great out on track.
It does.
So Wayne G then up to 6. He's having a good race so far, isn't he? Started at the back.
Yeah.
Is Wayne G? Is he there as a guest or is he a regular or is?
He was just a guest just to fill a spot. So obviously he's not getting any points for the race. He's just joining in just to make numbers up.
That's fair enough. It's I'm going to say it's not like Wayne G to be at the back of the at the grid. Silly shot in 7th in the BMW with that livery. It's got to win livery of the day, I think. For phase of the work that's gone into that GTR. Is it a GTR? I can't see underneath all them stickers.
Yeah.
Pete in 9th in the Porsche, and then yourself in 10th. Now you look like you've caught up to the back of Pete and Phaser. So
yeah, this was a lap where I really did start to catch the both of them. I literally was just flooring it.
Well. We'll catch up with yourself in a minute. We're just watching Sid as he goes around I think it's turn 2 on the GP trainer. Now, I just want to mention about the tyres. There is no tyre rule for this race. It's soft tyres, but there is a mandatory pit. So, obviously, if you want to use other tyres, you can. But it is soft tyres only. Is that right, John?
Yeah, I wanted to make it as joyous as possible, so as long as I was just use softs, but you have to make a pit stop.
Yeah, so one mandatory pit stop then, but soft tyres can be used throughout the race. So Stormfly, well, I call him the Flying Dutchman, and you can see why he's really has opened up a lead now, hasn't he? He's getting a bit lonely out there.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to look in the background. Sometimes you can see the show. Yeah, you still couldn't see Unforgiven. But Unforgiven, well, I know he loves this track. And it's showing, isn't it, in the GTR. It's unusual to see Unforgiven in a GTR. He's usually in the BMW. It's his favourite of all cars. So we managed to prize him out of the BMW and sit him in a GTR. And, well, he looks to be enjoying himself.
Yeah, he does.
Osman in 3rd. Oh, he's carrying half a second as well. So Osman definitely pushing, which is why he's picked up that half a second, I'm sure. And I'm just trying to think. That would be on the GP circuit, I would imagine, because
Yeah,
I think on this part of the circuit, you're allowed to go off. It's mandatory to go off the track, isn't it? And across the grass and such like. So that's unlucky for Osman. I'm sure he's going to carry on pushing. Fitzy sitting in fourth. Another one with a very colourful livery. Is that Fanta? Is it? Yeah,
looks like it. Yeah.
Fitzy in another GTR. So 2 GTRs in the top 4. I mean, Fitzy's very quick as well, isn't he? So you would expect him to be up there in the top 5.
Yeah.
So we're 12 and a half minutes into this first race. We're only on lap 2.
Yeah.
So when's the pit stop's going to start happening, do you think? Round about lap 3, end of lap 3?
I think, yeah, if I remember rightly, yeah, everyone did start pitting around about lap 3.
Yeah, and I suppose that's for tyres.
Yeah.
More than the fuel, but so people just starting to spread out a little bit. We'll see if we can find a battle. Well, Wayne G is back onto the smelly end of Grasshopper, so the pressure's back onto Grasshopper now, so he's got some defending to do, which I might add Grasshopper is very good at doing. And,
yeah, he certainly is.
He is, isn't he? He's a very difficult guy to get past. And I'm sure he's not going to make it easy for Wayne G, but Wayne G is absolutely all over him. Let's jump on board with Wayne, shall we? As we're chasing Grasshopper down. Well, I don't even going to pretend to know where we are on the track. We are somewhere in the forest. Like I say, with about 170 corners. I will never memorise the names. So I thought Grasshopper made a slight mistake there, but recovered very quickly. It's a very easy part of the track to make a mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You come off of that straight extremely quick, straight into that left-hander, but these guys recovered. Now up to the famous carousel. And I did have some notes about this. It's and I've put it somewhere and lost them, as usual. I'm so not organised. So apparently then, so just some boring facts about this track then. So over the course of the whole track, there is an elevation change of 1,000 feet from the highest point to the lowest point. That's some going, isn't it? That's like that's like climbing a small hill. That can't be right, surely. The track is made up obviously of the 2 tracks. We've got the GP circuit, and we've got the Nordschleife, which is the part that we're on now. And then they've got a bit about the carousel. It's a 210 degree banked corner. Now I'm not a mathematician, but I'm sure there are some out there that would know what 210 degrees looks like. All I know is when you're in that car, it is one scary thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think where we are on track, whether we're coming up to it or not. No, we've gone way past it, haven't we?
Yeah, we have already gone past it.
So let's jump back. So Silly Shot in 7th. Phaser in 8th. Then yourself, you're back up to 9th now. So, and catching Phaser. So, yeah, you're having a good recovery race at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I do actually I think being in that car has helped me as well, because that BMW Sprint is an awesome car to drive.
So you're a BMW big fan, the same as Unforgiving yourself now. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
You're right on top of Phaser, putting the pressure on to Phaser now, trying to push him along, and into the second of the carousels. Nicely done through there. Again, that's another place where it's very easy to lose control of the car, isn't it? So
yeah.
What are you thinking now then? Let's just stick behind Phaser till we get onto the straight, and then I'll have him when I'm in the slipstream.
Yeah, I thought I'll try and pass him if I can, but if I have to, I'll just wait till the straight and then take him. Yeah, I think this is where I do it.
Pushing him.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at, top speed down here, about 173, something like that.
Something about that.
So going uphill, oh, there we go, 173. That was a good guess, wasn't it? Oh, 175. And Phaser fighting back though, so Phaser's not letting this one go, is he?
No, certainly not.
I think the trouble is, and we've had a yellow flag. Why have we had was that silly shot?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened to him? Did he go, oh, he just got this corner wrong, very easy to do. Oh, and then on the grass as well. That's unlucky. That's unlucky. So, yeah, I think the trouble on the straight is if you make the move too early, all you're going to do is allow the other guy to just get into your slipstream and make the move on you towards the end of the straight. I think always sometimes it's just best just to hold back, just to sit there until you get sort of over halfway when you can make the move and he can't really recover from it. But yeah, but you've done well there. You got yourself up into 8th. Oh, a little bit of a bumper kiss there from Phaser, so get out of my way.
Yeah, that is, to be honest, out of this track, that first corner part you go through, that's the one part that I hate.
It's an awful corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Phaser's still chasing you down. I think this is about as near as we're going to get to a fight. Pete in the Porsche in 10th. Not really seen much of Pete. He's having a bit of a lonely race, isn't he?
Yeah.
But sticking at it, which is the whole idea of it. I'm sure he's having fun out there.
Yeah.
And then Sid down in 11th. He's way off the pace, isn't he, Sid? But he's still going on it. That's why we love Sid. It's always fantastic race when you've got Sid on track.
Yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't give up. He might be well behind, but he'll still carry on going.
He keeps going, doesn't he? And we love him for it.
Yeah.
And in the Supra as well, it's not the easiest of cars to handle, them Supras.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So, you've got to give him hats off for that.
Yeah, so I won't even try it.
No, a lot won't. So back up to the top then. Stormfly, he's got the fastest lap so far at 8:07, and he's gone purple again. So really is dominating this race, isn't he? Stormfly, Unforgiving in second, and loving it. He's got an 8:09, so he's not that far off behind Stormfly. Then we've got Osman. Well, he's not on that kind of pace, is he? With an 8:15, I mean that is still quick, but it's not the same as Unforgiven and Stormfly. So it's a pity we just can't see the gap between the front two or three.
Yeah, it would be nice if GT decided to put that in.
Yes, on the replays. Yeah. Fitzy sitting in 4th. He's got Grasshopper though right up his chuff, and Wayne G in there as well. Wayne G with a half second, but Grasshopper now looks like he's going to be putting some pressure on Fitzy. So whether Fitzy's made a mistake and dropped off the back of Osman, and that's allowed Grasshopper and Wayne G to catch up. Oh, now has he made another mistake, Fitzy? I think he has.
Looks like it.
Do you know what? I think he did. We're just going to do the drone cam because we can see Grasshopper coming down. I mean, he's not really putting a lot of pressure on at the minute. There is, a couple of car length gap.
Yeah.
And it just looks like it started there. I mean, that's a nasty turn anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fitzy had to slam the brakes on there, didn't he? Just so that he could make that turn. Lost 2 places. So I'm sure there are some choice words coming out of the visor of his helmet.
Yes.
For messing that one up. So let's just go. We're not going to go back up to Stormfly because we know where he is. He is a long way up the road. Unforgiven in 2nd. Osman still sitting in 3rd. Grasshopper now in 4th. Wayne G in 5th. He's got to serve that penalty, so I think Fitzy may well, if he can get close enough, Fitzy may well get P5.
Very possibly.
Silly shot in 7th. Yourself in 8th. Get a bit lonely for you now as well.
Yeah. It did. Once I got past phase, I was just all on my own.
Yeah.
For a while.
And Phaser just backed off a little bit, hasn't he? With Pete.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Pete in 10th. He's getting a little bit closer to Phaser, so we might have a bit of a battle on our hands there between those two. And then Sid down. Well, Sid's just taking his own scenic route.
Yep.
Don't bother with the tarmac, Sid. It only slows you down. So Stormfly then. Well, he's got a fair way to go before we reach the pits. I'm just looking because we're on lap 3. Tyres don't look too bad actually. Although
yeah, no, they don't.
He probably will start to feel it a little bit now. But he can afford to take his time as he hits the carousel, or a carousel, shall I say? I think it's the second one.
Yeah.
Unforgiven in second. So yeah, we'll try and keep an eye on these leaders as we get here towards the end of the lap to see whether they do come in. We're on lap 3, so they may well come in at the end of this one. Osman's still sitting in 3rd. And then we've got Grasshopper in 4th with Wayne G still carrying that penalty. That's the problem. He's picked that up at the beginning of the lap and you've got to carry it round with you for about another 8 minutes.
Yeah, which is very annoying.
Sometimes, though, I think it works in your favour because if you can open up a gap big enough to the guy behind you, you know you're not going to lose the place.
Well, yeah.
But it does work the other way, that it gives the other guy a chance to get a little bit closer, so he'll nick that place back from you. So I think that's what's going to happen between Wayne G and Fitzy. If they stay like this, and I can't remember where the penalty zone is. Is it on this straight, on the back straight?
I think it's on the back straight, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it is actually. So if that's the case, I think Fitzy will, if he stays like this with the distance between them, then Fitzy will definitely move up into P4. So all the hard work that Wayne G has put in to get right from the back of the grid to 4th is well, I don't think he's going to be too disappointed, to be honest. He's only going to lose 1 place, and he can now then, that's exactly what Wayne G needed.
Yep, certainly was.
Fitzy going off there has just opened up the gap, so Wayne G, that half a second isn't really going to punish him that much now, and I bet he's got a bit of a smile on his face as Fitzy now comes under pressure from Grasshopper. Oh, Grasshopper having a bit of look up the inside of Fitzy. Oh, keep it clean, boys. Into carousel out there. That's a really tricky one, that is, and it can throw you wide, and I think Fitzy went a bit wide there, but just a couple of turns now and they're onto that back straight, and Fitzy is, well, he's a sitting duck, isn't he?
Yeah. With
a Grasshopper right up the smelly end and in the slipstream. Now I'm going to go up. Oh, no, I won't. I'll stay with these two just for now. I was going to go up to Stormfly to see whether he comes into the pits, but I think we'll stay here because we've got a bit of a fight on our hands. It's the NSX against the GTR. Grasshopper now finally pulls to the inside, and now it's just a drag race to the end of the straight. And I think Grasshopper just about gets it done, although Fitzy coming back at him into the final few turns, and yeah, Grasshopper makes that one stick. And there we see Stormfly, Unforgiven, Osman, Wayne G all into the pits. Grasshopper, Fitzy, so everybody is a bit of a rush into the pits, isn't it? The pit crew have suddenly been told to wake up. Do you come in as well?
Yes, I believe I did, if I remember rightly.
And is this the bit where you scream at the pit crew, come on boys, hurry up?
Yep.
I mean, they look like coiled springs, aren't they, look?
Yeah.
Silly shit. Pete, he'll probably come in, and so will Phaser and Sid carrying a penalty as well. So back up then to our race leader, who we've sort of ignored really because he's so far out on his own. We've just got a shot there of Unforgiven in the background. But Stormfly just absolutely loving it out there, isn't he, in that McLaren?
He certainly is.
He's just proved himself to be a really quick driver, hasn't he? And
yeah, he has.
I think he took part in the group, the GR2s, didn't he, on a Tuesday?
No.
Did he not? I can remember seeing him in another race. I'm sure it was a different race. I can't. Unless I'm getting myself mixed up.
I know it wasn't the GR2 league because obviously I did that one and he wasn't in that one.
He wasn't.
Not as far as I could remember. I'm sure he wasn't.
Again, another nice looking livery on the car. There's some great effort goes into doing these liveries. I mean, I really would like to know, put them in the comments, who does the liveries, whether you just go onto Showcase and steal them or borrow them, should I say, or do the guys create them themselves? I like to have a go at doing my own.
Yeah.
Whether they're any good or not is I don't know, but I quite like doing my own. Unforgiven, I know he does his own.
Yeah.
And very nice too is that GTR. So Unforgiven, absolutely loving it out there. I'm sure we'd like to get a little bit closer to Stormfly to make a bit of a fight of it, but he's done really well to get himself up into second, and he's just opened up quite a gap. And actually, excuse me, if you look at that map in the top right, you normally can't see the gaps, but if you look at that now, you can see that little red triangle. That is Unforgiven, and then the next one, if we go on to it, is Osmond. Now it doesn't look that big a gap on that map, but that's probably a mile or so.
Yeah, probably about 10-15 seconds maybe between them at the moment.
I mean the whole circuit is about 15-16 miles long.
Yeah.
So that's a fair old distance to race, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So top four all very spread out, aren't they? Wayne G up to fourth. He's having a great race, isn't he? In that Audi from 11th.
Yeah.
Up to fourth. Grasshopper in fifth. They've all just calmed down just a little bit. Fitzy's still on the chase after his couple of mistakes. He'll be kicking himself for that. I know he will. And the fact that he's got DJ in front of him will be even more annoying for him, because he always likes to beat DJ.
Yeah.
But Grasshopper, he's having a good race as well. Like I say, in the NSX, I wouldn't really have put it down as a car to compete with the GTRs and the BMWs, but he's out there and he's doing it.
Yeah.
Then we've got Silly Shot in the BMW. Is that the Sprint model as well? I can't see from here.
Yeah, yes. It is.
Yeah, it is. So, popular choice. Is that the one that you guys have been using on the Sunday Championship?
Yes, it is.
I've not really driven the Sprint one. I've driven the Endurance model, but not the Sprint one.
It's more or less exactly the same. The only difference is the gearing, I believe.
Right. And one's got fog lights, and is it slightly longer? One of them slightly longer?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Did I make that up? I don't know.
I know it's something to do with the gearing, but I know the Sprint is faster off the line than Endurance is.
Right. Well, you'd have thought you'd have used an Endurance in the Endurance race.
Yeah.
That makes. Oh, Pete! What you doing? Too much pressure. Rufus really applying the pressure on Pete, and Pete just couldn't get that Porsche slowed down in time to make this turn. There we go, across the curb, across the next curb, across the next one, a swipe with barrier, and through goes Rufus up into P8, and poor old Pete relegated to P9 and playing catch up now. He's got damage at the front as well. The Porsche as well seems to have. We had a big update, didn't we, a couple of months ago or something, and the Porsche seemed to suffer quite a bit, became quite a handful. But after the recent update, it seems to be behaving itself again. It was always sort of one of the go-to cars, I think, as a bit of a safe choice.
It was. Yeah, it was.
And then just before we started the Sunday season using the Porsche, it all went belly up. But it's come back to life again now. And Pete doing okay in ninth. Fazer, oh dear, Fazer. What happened to him? Is that the another one? Another kiss with Barry R for Fazer? I told you, it's all them stickers. He can't actually see where he's going. Yeah, he just couldn't slow the car down, could he?
Yeah, no.
And why is it? Whenever you hit the barrier, you always end up facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I know. It can be annoying when it happens.
5-point turn. Oh, come on, Fazer. Give your head a wobble. Get back into it. So that's Fazer down in 10th. Got to take a deep breath and get back into it. Sid in 11th. He's still carrying that penalty.
Yep. Or I think that could be another one.
Poor old Sid. Grass cutting.
Yeah, he does like grass, cutting the grass.
He don't care, does he? He likes to keep the mechanics busy and the guys in the body shop.
Yep.
He likes to keep them employed. So let's go back up and have a look and see what our leader's doing. Well, he's just out on his own, isn't he? Having a bit of fun.
Yeah, he is.
Just enjoying the scene. You can see some of the crowd there. Look, they're ecstatic, aren't they? You can see them waving their arms and everything. Not. They're all just stand still, don't they? You'd have thought they'd have been a bit more, wave a few flags or something. But
yeah, you'd have thought so.
Stormfly then coming towards the end of lap 4. He's on the back straight. And let's see what kind of speeds we get out of this McLaren then. So I think your BMW got up to about, what was it, 175?
When it's like going down the hill, yeah.
So let's just see if the McLaren can match it. Well, he can. Well, I think he touched on 177 there, didn't he? So
yeah, something like that.
I think the McLaren, not really known for its straight line speed, but it's more an all-rounder, isn't it? It's the McLaren. Yeah. It's a good through the corners, and it's pretty good on the straight, but it's not known for its straight line speed, I don't think.
But, no, I don't think it is.
Stormfly certainly making it dance for us tonight. And making turn 1 look very easy, or turn 2, should I say.
Yeah.
Unforgiven. Let's just get another look at the livery that Unforgiven's done. So I'm pretty sure that Unforgiven has done this himself. And I love the colours on that. Again, the black and green with a splash of white. A bit of blending. So yeah, it's looking good.
It certainly is.
Wayne G now up to 3rd. So it's either Osman's had a bit of a moment or Wayne G is just absolutely flying. So I'm sorry we missed that move, but Wayne G now gets himself up onto the podium and he's already opened up a bit of a gap back to Osman. So as I say, I can only imagine that Osman may have had a bit of an issue somewhere.
Yeah, I know he doesn't really like this track.
Oh, he's not a big fan.
No.
Osman known as the wizard with the wheel. But no, can't do much magic if you don't like the track. Grasshopper kicking up a bit of dirt there, still holding on to 5th, ahead of Fitzy. Fitzy just seems to claw his way back up to the back of Grasshopper and then make a little bit of a mistake and lets him get away again.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where you can catch back up if you make a mistake, but once you make a mistake, it's sort of, you have to well, you have to put in an effort to catch back up. So it's just one of those tracks.
It is. It's a tough track to claw yourself back into the fight, isn't it? Because as I say,
yeah,
I think we mentioned at the beginning, didn't we? If you get out of the slips, oh, Fitzy. We're just saying how he's clawing back up, and well, let's just see where's he get this wrong. Is this where we turn left onto the?
Yeah.
So this is where you turn left off of the main GP track, and you turn into the Nordschleife, and well, the back end of that car just carried on coming round, didn't it? So again, I bet there's a few. I bet in that cabbie saying, "Oh dearie me, look what I did." And poor old Fitzy has now really lost touch of Grasshopper up ahead. I'm sure Grasshopper won't mind. He'll be looking in his mirrors and just wondering where Fitzy's gone.
Yep.
But he can concentrate now on trying to catch up to Osman, who I think, well, we don't know how far up the road he is, do we? That's the problem.
Yeah, no.
I think Osman really is trying to push now, isn't he? He's using every little bit of the track that is available to him.
Yeah.
He's not really putting in the lap times, though, is he? And the little mistake here and there is what's going to cost you.
Yeah.
We can just see Wayne G up ahead. So, well, there we go. Look, Osman, we just said he's pushing, and he's just gone through a purple sector. So Osman really is, for somebody who doesn't like this track, he's really putting his foot down now. He can just about see Wayne G up ahead. Let's go on board, shall we, with Osman?
Yeah.
As he takes us through these few turns. That is a really tricky turn, that one. It suddenly creeps up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You seem to be going along all very nice and smooth, then all of a sudden, wallop, there's a sharp left hand in front of you.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say Osman is definitely catching up. I mean, the Genesis has got the pace, which it's a very quick car. It's a handful, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't driven it from what I've heard. It is a handful to drive.
I had it for a few seasons ago, and it's a great car, but it is a handful. But Osman seems to have tamed it, and I think Bailey and Smith, they had it, and they seem to get on very well with it. But it's a great shot of a driver's eye view. All the helmets obviously fitted with little cameras, so we can bring you these kind of views.
Mm-hmm. That does seem like it has closed down, but it's not closing very quickly.
It's not coming down enough, is it? And
No.
We're on lap 5 of 6. Still a fair way to go, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, I think Osman really needs to try and make some ground on Wayne G so that he can think about making a move on the back straight. Now, he is a bit of a distance away from the back straight, but I'm sure that's what he's thinking about. But Wayne G now seems to have pulled away again. And I just love that shot. You look behind, not that you have to, because he's got the rear view mirror look right in the middle of the just above the steering wheel where your dials would normally be. So it's a good job he's got a steering wheel which tells him how fast he's going.
Yeah.
Now it's hard onto the brakes, isn't it? And then around the section here, heading towards the carousel now. And you can see how banked it really is.
Yeah, it is probably.
I was just about to say it can unsettle the car on the exit, and that's exactly what happened to Osman. So that was really unlucky. That has just that's just widened the gap now between himself and Wayne G. We'll get out of the car because I'm sure that's putting him off.
Probably.
So Grasshopper in 5th. That would have allowed Grasshopper to get a little bit closer to Osman. Obviously not close enough for a battle yet. So we will get down the pack and see if we can find anybody that is battling with anybody else. And it looks like you are all pretty much driving around on your own.
Yeah, I think once I got past once I got past Peter, I was just stayed where I was.
Yeah, Pete the same in 9th, Fazer in 10th, and Sid in 11th. So yeah, everybody's pretty much just having a bit of a drive around on their own. You wouldn't know there was any other cars on track.
Yeah.
Is it easy to keep your concentration when you're driving around on your own, or do you prefer it like that, or would you prefer to have somebody to have a battle with?
I think, to be honest, on my opinion, after doing that for like that 4 hours or whatever it was around this track, I think it's actually quite nice to drive around it on your own, because it's just you don't have anyone around you to put you off.
Oh right, okay. I mean, some people would say they prefer to have somebody to battle with, or to follow, or to stay in front. Do you know what I mean? It's I suppose it's everybody's their own way of doing it. I mean, I personally, I would prefer to have somebody in front of me so that I can follow, so that because I don't know where I'm going half the time, especially on this track.
Yeah.
But
this track, I don't. To be honest, I don't mind driving around it on my own, because it's a nice track to drive, especially when you hit the forest. It's a nice track to drive on your own.
Well, we've just seen Unforgiven losing a bit of concentration and slamming into the barrier. A few battle scars on the front of that GTR for him now, but it's not going to change his track position. He's still in P2, and I think, to be fair, he can afford to make a few mistakes. Looking at the gap back to Wayne G in 3rd. Wayne G just coming across the start-finish line to start the final lap, and Unforgiven already probably halfway around the GP circuit now already. Stormfly, well, he's only got a short distance to go before he turns left onto the Nordschleife for the last time. So he's pretty much got this race sewn up.
Yeah, but we all know what this race, especially because it's such a long lap, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, so but I would say it's got to be an almighty anything for Stormfly to give this one up. Yeah. Same with Unforgiven, really. It's it's theirs to throw away, I think. Wayne G in 3rd. He's had a fantastic race, hasn't he, Wayne G? He's gone all the way from the back, got himself up onto the podium, even with a couple of penalties that he's picked up along the way. So he's had a great race as Wayne G. So he's found a new favourite car in the Audi.
Yeah.
Osman, well, as you've said already, he doesn't like this track, so he'll be glad to see the back of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he's still doing okay. You know what I mean? He's in 4th. So
yeah.
I think if I was going to race this track and somebody offered me 4th, I'd take it before I even got in the car. So no shame in coming 4th. Grasshopper in 5th. Oh, bit of a slide going on for Grasshopper, but well held as he now turns left and heads up onto the Nordschleife for the final time. Fitzy, well, he's had a bit of an up and down race, hasn't he, Fitzy?
Yeah.
He's he's put some quick times in, then he's had a bit of a go across the grass. He's tried to rearrange some of the barriers. Not like him, so maybe this is a track he doesn't like either. Don't know if he said anything in the briefing room after the race.
No, I can't remember now.
Silly shot. He's been quiet, really. Silly shot, hasn't he? He's not really got involved in a lot.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's the only trouble with this track, is when you're racing, is people do spread out.
Yeah. I think that's the worst thing about this track. Once you get spread out, it's almost impossible to just keep really close to someone.
I think you're trying to keep the body shop guys busy as well, aren't you? Looking at the front of that car of yours.
Yeah, I did have a few. So I did have a few spins. I think if I didn't have the spins I had, I probably would have been a lot closer to Silly Shot probably. But he was able to set faster lap times than me, so it would have been a big task for me to keep up with him. Because I think my fastest lap was an 8 minutes 18 or something on the last lap.
Yeah, on this lap now. So, well, maybe you just need to paint the front end white so it wouldn't show up the scratches so much.
Yeah.
I do like the sound of that BMW.
Yeah, it does sound quite nice.
Let's have a look at Phaser and the cartoon GTR. I mean, to be fair, that must have took absolutely ages to put the livery on that car.
Yeah, probably did.
I mean, let's just change the camera view so we can have a good look at this. I mean, we've got, what is it, Bugs, Daffy.
Yeah, he's got all the cartoon characters on it.
They're all on there, aren't they?
Yeah. It's like a Looney Tunes livery.
It's, yeah. A few twinkly lights. He's got the whole lot in there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Phaser, for that one. Then we've got Pete. Well, quite a subtle livery, really.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is from the Porsche Cup or something. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure.
And then Sid with the Ice Age livery, which he likes to run with, and I like the way he's got the eyes at the back where the lights are.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe Alex actually made that for him, I think, if I remember rightly.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So back up to our current race leader, Stormfly, and he's doing exactly that, isn't he? He's storming along.
Yeah.
Doesn't look in danger at all. He can, I think he can afford to just relax a bit. I mean, he's got the fastest lap on 8:06, which was lap 5, but he can really afford to just take his foot off the gas a little bit and ease up. And I'm just looking at the map in the right, and he's going to be chasing Sid down in a minute. Sid seems to be pirouetting all over the place at one of the turns. And I think Stormfly may well catch him up if he gets to the back straight before
possibly
finishes. I don't know. Unforgiven still sitting in second. He's had a fantastic race, hasn't he? I know he would have enjoyed this. He does like the Nordschleife. I think it is one of his favourite tracks, and it really shows. And that's the thing, I think some people do gel with certain tracks, don't they? I mean, I quite like Watkins Glen. I think Watkins has got to be one of my favourites. I always seem to do quite well there.
Yeah, I like those Wilkins Glen as well. I actually like that as well. But my favourite's got to be Dragon Trail Seaside.
Yes, I was watching you did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? You were putting some cracking times in.
Yeah, that's a good thing with that daily last week. Like before last week's daily B, I'd won 2 races in all. By the end of the week, I'd won.
Was it 9?
6. So I had 7 or 8 races just from last week.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. It's a good track. I do like Dragon Trail. It is a good track.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back up to our leader, who is now coming to the end of the final lap. He's just got a couple of turns to go, and he'll be staring at the checkered flag. So well done to Stormfly. A flash of the lights to celebrate. Thoroughly deserved win. No pressure whatsoever. So well done to him. Unforgiven. Couple of turns and across the line for him. Another great race from Unforgiven to finish in second. Wayne G, well, what a fantastic race he's had. I would put him down as driver of the day, really, to come all the way from the back.
I agree with that one. He has had a storm of a race, coming from the back and finishing in third.
Yeah, fantastic racing from Wayne G. Osman, well, considering he doesn't like the track, it's a good fourth for him. And across the line he goes. Grasshopper, he put up a good fight, the Grasshopper. He did everything right. He just couldn't catch up to the back of Osman, but finishes in fifth anyway. With Fitzy, a very up and down race for Fitzy. I know he won't be too pleased with that, but six anyway for Fitzy. Silly shot around the final couple of turns to finish in seventh. And across the line he goes with yourself, just coming to the end of that back straight. I'm just trying to look in the distance to see where Fazer is, and well, he's nowhere to be seen yet, is he?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think at this point I was finished about 35, 40 seconds after Silly shot.
Yeah, that's as I say, with a track that's this long, 16 miles of it, you're going to get that kind of gaps, aren't you?
Yeah. Let's see, here we go. A 1.8, a 2.8, an 8.18 for the last lap.
8.18, so that's a good time. That's a good time. So Fazer will just push him along just a little bit. Oh, has he crashed? What's happening here? Has he ran the cameraman over? Oh, Fazer. Fazer, he's ran into the cameraman. But, yeah, he's going to come across the line in ninth. And then Pete, where is Pete? There he is. Just taking the final. Oh, he's trying to go into the cameraman as well. It's a good job the cameraman's climbed up on that fence. Oh, and that's it, finished. So we must have run out of time. So that was unlucky. Didn't see the finish, but great racing nevertheless.
It certainly was.
Where are we next week, John?
Next week we are at Grand Valley Reverse.
Oh, another fantastic track. We are going to see some action there, and reverse as well.
Yeah, so, and that track was actually chosen by Grasshopper.
Was it? Well, that doesn't surprise me one little bit. I bet he's been practicing on that one for weeks, waiting for the opportunity to get people on it, because he knows that nobody else would have practiced that one. So I am really looking forward to that. But thanks everybody for watching. If you did like these races, please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, if you could do me a massive favour and do so, I would appreciate it. I want to say thanks to John for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
That's no problem, mate. And I look forward to catching you all next week. Thanks for watching.